Cool.
All right. As your team ventures forwards into the next stage of your adventure, you manage to went back here into the city that you have known well at the beginning. The city of Hythe itself, a very big populace with varying people here and there. You come back to it for one main reason, because it was on the way, and maybe meeting some old friends and allies or other. Looking at you, Nikolai. Along the way, you managed to find some trouble. Nikolai managed to capture some bandits and contemplate their own existence.
Sure.
Dust, who I can't currently see for some reason. Oh, he went into another table. Uh, also contemplated on their existence and how it correlated with Nikolai. And you all came together with, well, not everyone came together. You left half of your team to do something else. But the main team came together and just discussed what's going down, what's happening with you, what's going on with your past, and just talking through your problems instead of ignoring them. Well, Nikolai and Dust did. Ada was there. Ada was there. Uh, but decided to hold theirs back for a little bit longer. While you gathered back here into the area, or while you were walking towards this area, you met a random stranger. Well, Dust found a random stranger that was connected to the rumors and the image he saw or was described by the air elementals in the area when they were scouting at night. You were told about a few things here and there, and this person looked like the person that was just on top of a bell tower just peering into the city. And then you also heard rumors about this vigilante person that doesn't exactly know what they're doing, maybe. And the kids always said, like, maybe not exactly cleared sentences or descriptors. Some called them a person that can grow out angel wings, another carries a scythe with like a dark angel wing on its left side and a bright white one on the right side. Who's to say if the kids are right or not? But finding the descripting, the person that looks the most... Wow, sentence right there. Eventually, you did find this person that was perceived last night and said to meet them here. And so you all met here. Along the way, you asked one of your companions to go and find someone that could help you. Does anyone remember what Whisper's doing?
I do. Whisper to go get someone who knows the message or know the sending spell.
There you go.
Because Dust is wanting to talk to a member of the Fortunate Admirals we just learned about.
Mm-hmm.
So.
With information at hand, she went on to do that. So she's not currently here. So Tony, you all, Amara, Fauna, Opal, as this woman approaches inside. Standing about 5'5", a very nice, beautifully dressed woman. It's not exactly the best gown in the world, but it's definitely something you would wear to a date. And when they stepped inside, Dust got up, walked to the other side, and put themselves parsed in another seat. But Ada and Nikolai did discern something. Ada, you were not exactly aware of what's going on, but you could tell that this is a type of dress you would wear to maybe a first date for first impressions. And Nikolai, you were able to discern this person probably thought this was a date and wasn't too sure what was going on until Dust got up and walked to another table. And that is where we left off. So Dust, what are you doing? Are you just calling over?
Well, I would have just essentially got up when I saw her walk in, then gone up to meet her, and then taken her over to the side table.
All right. Found him. Talking out loud. At getting her to the other side of the table is not too much of an issue, as you know, willing and able. So she sits down easily enough across from you. She's more or less, from what you can tell, nervous as she sits down. She more or less flattens her dress down. One of the waiters does come over. Yes, can I get you something?
Yes. Some wine and a decent meal, and I'll put down two. I'll give him 2 gold.
Oh, all right. And you, miss? I suppose just some water, and maybe something to eat. All right. And then we begin to head out.
And I'll be essentially paying for it all. So.
Oh, never mind.
Okay.
Oh, no, I was calling the goblin back.
Oh, he's going over there.
Oh.
But this woman just standing there does look towards you, Dust. So, it's been a fine day, I take it?
It has been a very good day. For a number of reasons. And I have to say, you do look very lovely.
Oh, thank you. I
Did not expect you to dress like that.
Oh, I mean, the afternoon garments I was wearing were for work attire, so I did want you dressed a little bit better.
Well, it suits you very well.
Oh, thank you. She more or less does polite talking before the food gets here. She asks you about the day, how the weather was for you. She talks about a few things. She was running errands in town, how she was going out to get some groceries for the elderly that she's currently living with. She is more or less attending to their needs and, shopping for them. While that's going on, the goblin does come over to Ada, Nikolai, and the rest of the gang. So, did you guys need anything?
Yes. We all need 1 pitcher of water.
All right, water's free here.
Okay, never mind. Order. I don't know what to drink. What are we doing? I'm confused.
You're the alcohol man. What are
No,
you?
I feel like I'm turning over. I feel like we had a great breakthrough last time. I don't know if should I drink? Should I not? What's going on?
I mean, if you want to celebrate, you can drink.
But celebrate. What?
Just get the strongest alcohol for.
No, I don't want. No, that's destructive. I feel like I'm hurting myself.
Okay. Do you want a light alcohol? What do you want?
Can I just get a smooth ale? That'd be great.
Sure. Looks towards the rest of the group. Some people order food here and there. Amara does look over towards the goblin man, and she does state, can we get some nice, I'm gonna assume, do you have any, alcohols that are very light or tame? Yes, we do have a few. Any reason why? We're not looking to get drunk, but we are looking to, enjoy ourselves a little bit. Oh, I understand. That shouldn't be an issue. We can definitely do that. Thank you. They begin to head back up. None of you paid except for Amar.
I would like to spy on what's going on with Dust.
Oh, I was gonna say he went into the kitchen. Doors closed. You opened door.
Yeah, no Dust.
All right. Nikolai, roll stealth.
Oh, okay. 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna use Dust's passive perception. Dust, you just notice while she's talking politely, Dust just like staring at your table, trying to get behind Ada while also observing you. It is not exactly subtle. You can tell by the distance he's not close enough to hear you, but it's still awkward.
I'm like kind of like leaning up on the table, like I'm like standing over, like have my head like really high. I'm like, I wonder what's going on over there.
Thus, understand what he's trying to do. We'll just kind of chuckle inside
Yeah.
at that, but won't pay too much mind about it.
That is fair.
Mm.
But while that is going on, you do see that the goblin does return for your guys' meals, starting off with the closest one. So they do give you a few ales here and there, some snacks, and a good a good picture of what appears to be a nice orange juice. But the goblin does state, "All right, this stuff won't get you drunk, but it will be a nice drink. It will go great with meals."
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Right.
Yes, indeed.
I also added a pitcher of water on the house.
Oh, I mean, you said it was free.
Still on the house.
Okay, thanks.
After the polite talking and conversation at Dustin's table, the goblin does return back with the meals, the drinks. All right, if you need anything else, just let me know. My name is Gregory. Pleasure to meet you both. Just wave me over. And goes back to do his work. But when he does that, more or less, the pause in conversation gets her to simply say, "Oh, but enough about me. What would you like to talk about?"
Well, first of all, my name is Among the Dust. Everybody calls me Dust. May I have your name?
Oh, of course. It should have been one of the first things I did, I suppose. I rarely do this. Want to make sure I don't have another NPC named this. My name is Amara. Nope, it isn't. That was a joke. It was close, though. Oops, I accidentally moved her closer. My name is Emily.
Emily. What a beautiful name.
Thank you. Not really knowing what to do, she is still like waiting for the start of the conversation.
The biggest thing, the reason why I reached out to you is because I saw you last night on top of the, was it the bell tower?
It was the bell tower.
I saw you on top of the bell tower last night, and I was wondering why.
I don't think so. I mean, from time to time, I do clean the bell when it gets dirty. That's only once a month, and that's next week. Maybe someone was, cleaning the tiles up there? I'm not sure. I mean, I always, sometimes wear, the things I was wearing in the afternoon, but, not always, and late at night is my time off.
That way for all of us.
I mean, we
That
can't.
was just, it was just, you had an uncanny resemblance to that person. That's why I reached out to you.
Oh. Just roll insight.
Hey, this is one of my good ones.
Nice.
20, dirty 20.
You can tell there's something going on inside her mind by the way her mannerisms are, her slumping shoulders, her look, the way she's presenting herself. It does seem like she's not sure if she should ask any more or set that conversation on point where it is. Maybe she just don't want to know more. Best guess, like out of the game, she's not sure if she should be jealous or not. In game for Dust, she's not really sure how to proceed with that type of conversation. So it's there.
With that, Beth knows exactly where to go. But no worries, no worries. It was great to meet a lovely lady yourself, even if it was a little on the unconventional side of things.
I suppose that's true. I mean, I did hear about some vigilante just trying to protect the city in their own way. Although it's not me, but I do hear from time to time that, according to the children, they somehow transform and change how they look. But it's usually, I suppose the best way I can describe it, it's usually more akin to a child or teenager's imagination of how they perceive heroism, I gather.
I heard similar stories. I'm coming back to this town after a couple months, and so last time I was here was actually during the Sundering, and I heard about the vigilante, and I just kind of put two and two together, but I guess I was wrong, and I'm pleasantly surprised that I was wrong. It was a very good thing to meet you, Emily.
You can tell that she's blushing heavily, and underneath her breath, she does state, I am also glad you made the mistake. But overall, it is a nice conversation. She is a very lovely woman. That being said, maybe not the person you were looking for. But she does...
Later for what the look like, but I was slightly off. Most likely.
Most likely. You were giving context clues, and this is the best connection you had. When you're speaking with her about the things here and there, she does talk about the rumors, and she does state, from what I can tell, I've never seen them myself, but they are around, well, I suppose my height, around 5'5". Usually that descriptor's the genuine one, but they only seem to come at night, usually harboring on top of a building of some sort, but it's never usually the same type of description. So they might just be disguising themselves as something they've seen in town, or maybe something they've imagined. I'm not entirely sure how magic works. Not a magic caster myself. But the only other discerning factor I can say is that only somehow creatures not from this world, small children, and animals are able to see them for some reason or another.
That's very interesting, although it doesn't seem too bizarre based off of the things that I've seen.
Maybe not, but it is concerning. That's why the guards are looking into them, since they don't seem to know exactly how to protect the city. And since they can't find them, they just have to go with eyewitness accounts that keep changing.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to do. Truth be told, I was part of the group that first helped out when the city was helped out the city. The Sundering, there was problems going on, and I was one of those who helped out in the first little bit. So I was hoping to pay it forward a little bit more.
Oh, as she tries to get you to talk a little bit more about yourself, Nikolai, what are you doing?
No. Oh yeah, no. Dust will start talking about himself a little bit, that how he's a jeweler.
Yeah.
So that basically, I placed the explosives, and then we set them down, and then it blew up, and that's how we killed the Bone Naga. That was the whole story. It was a wonderful trip, and we did it in this town in the sewer. It was a legendary adventure. Yeah, you should have been there.
Mar just looks towards you. I don't know if I should believe you, but there's no reason to lie. Opal does state, no, I still don't believe him. This is like the third time I've heard that. I don't think that's true. Looks towards Ada. Can you confirm this? You've been with him the longest? Outside of Dust?
I was not with him. I'll be honest, I was never here. I was
True story. True story.
Fauna just
Above
looks at
game.
Get it?
Yeah.
Can you make an insight check to make sure it does? I'm sorry, not does. Nikolai is telling the truth.
Above game. You had heard the story before, like soon after we met, and
Mhm.
it was Dust who was telling it. Who was
Oh.
telling the story.
Nikolai might have embellished though. It's hard to tell if he's telling the truth, but you have heard the story from Nikolai from Dust beforehand. So it's not to say it didn't happen. It's just you don't know if Nikolai somehow found an ancient sword, grabbed and retrieved from an ancient tomb of a vampire, stabbed the dragon in its heart, and then threw bombs into it, and that somehow landed on the giant snake and killed it. That part, not exactly true, maybe. I don't know if Nikolai did all that. Some things
Yeah.
might have been embellished here or there, but overall, it seems to be true.
Anyways, not enough about me. I'm just a plain old sorcerer. What about you, Opal? What's your big story? Do you have like a place growing up that you originated from, or cool adventures that you've been on, or?
Was that missed at one point? Born to rich people? Rich people didn't like that I didn't have the magic they were akin or came with. Threw me out. Traveled for a while. Studied at a magic library. They kicked me out after I couldn't use magic. Learned how to destroy magic on my own. Merchant for a while. Found you guys. Been arrested about 18 times in this city.
Wait, before or after?
Wow.
Before.
Oh.
All of this wasn't linear.
Are you wanted?
I think so. I'm about a 8 out of 10.
I'm
What? No.
sorry.
Nikolai chuckles. I would
What-
think you're more of like a 5, maybe a 6 out of 10. Yep. What?
Rude. But have you seen our team? Looks around at team. All of us are very attractive. I'm just saying I don't know how we all found each other.
Some weird fate.
Maybe like if you lost the hat, it'd be a 9. What?
You mean
Am I the
that?
only one who, besides, I guess, Mara's father, am I the only one here who hasn't been arrested?
Fauna raises her hand.
Mara,
I don't think so.
Mara, have you been arrested?
I've been jailed before, but not arrested.
Why were you jailed?
Well, when I was performing at a bar at one point in time, there was a bar fight. No one really knew who threw the first punch, so we were all jailed for questioning.
Oh.
I've been to a few city places traveling. It happens, but overall, no criminal record.
Okay, that works. So, how is Nikolai and Opal the only two that technically has been arrested and possibly wanted?
Ada, look at me. I'm like,
I am looking at you.
yeah. You think that I would not be arrested with all of this? I feel like I should roll a charisma check.
Go for it.
17.
Oh my god.
Well, Ada, you can decide what you want. But Opal does state, no, he makes a good point. Although his attitude's trashy, his looks are about 9, maybe 8-ish. So yeah, people definitely want him. I can see a
I'm
guard.
wanted.
You have a point.
I'm
yeah.
definitely wanted.
Yeah, but once they get to know you, they understand that the person underneath, not exactly the kindest person.
Well, okay, Opal, that's a little harsh.
I mean, neither am I. I mean, to be fair, Nikolai is a lot better than me.
That's saying a lot.
Not really.
That's kind of putting yourself down. Are you okay?
Oh, this is just me talking.
You have a filter.
Badly about.
I mean, I don't really have a filter. What?
Opal
Anyways.
just simply states,
Sorry.
first time anyone's ever called what I say as a filter, but sure. You can go with that.
So did you have parents growing up?
Yes. Again, Rose and was taken care for a little bit in the Kingdom of Mist. To the
When
east.
did you leave? When did you leave them?
Had no magic. Parents were rich people that had magic. Takes me out.
Yeah. Same origin story. Yep. Pretty much the same.
What?
What?
I don't care.
I know. And that's sad. Maybe you should care a little bit more. It'll make you more friendly.
I don't care.
Opal. So, yeah.
No, spirits can be awful at times. I can agree with that.
Opal just simply states, you just live your life. It's all that matters to me. If you don't like me, that's fine. That's your own prerogative. If I don't like you, that's my own judgment. We don't have to like each other. That's not to say you don't like me or I don't like you. That's just how the value and viewpoints of people are.
I guess. What about finding a partner and living with a person, and then I guess, do you ever feel like you've loved somebody?
No.
Nikolai's eyes just kind of like sink into the back of his head, and he's kind of just like, what? He kind of like is like, oh, he's okay, he starts drinking again.
Yeah. There is no emotional stance with her no. It's not like, no or no. It's like simple to fact no. But Fauna like nods, like understanding what that means. But Amara does state, well, be that as it may, Opal, we are glad that you're here, accompanying us and helping us along the travel. Sure. Beats just selling stuff on the road, honestly. Kind of got bored of that for a while. These guys never got me my golden apple. I'm pretty sure they forgot. I'm pretty sure Ada said you forgot.
Yeah. I won't lie, we did forget about the apple.
Oh, I'll get it one day.
There was a lot going on at that time. We kind of forgot.
That is fine.
Oh, I'll definitely get you a golden apple.
I don't know if that's a euphemism. As we go back to Dust.
Great cut.
But while she's trying to get you to talk about yourself more, Dust, you talk about how you're a jeweler, and is there anything else you say, or just like go into the topic of your job?
I will talk about my family a little bit. Talk about the kind of my interests and whatnot, because like she came in and it turned into a date. So
Yeah.
Because it was just like miscommunication. Why give up on a beautiful woman like this? I will talk about a little bit about the Fabergé egg that we made.
Yeah.
Because Dust is still on a high from that. Because it's only been, about a week?
A couple of weeks because you guys lost time, but yeah.
But like,
For you guys, like a week.
yeah, but it's been like 2 weeks. And
Yeah. But still riding that high. Dust, you talk about your job, your some family life, obviously not everything.
yeah, not ever.
And your creations. Emily does nod and approve, and she is understanding everything. She might not get everything, but she is actively listening to the conversation. And when she asks a few hints and clues about questioning, like, how did you make the Fabergé egg? You begin to understand that she is trying to get it, but she does not understand the whole how you welded things and everything. Yeah, she got a 7 out of 10. Her insight was not that great, but she is paying attention, which is good, because most of the time when Dust, you talk about your job, people zone out.
Yeah. And Dust will say, it would have taken a lot longer, but we did use a spell that sped up the process. It was an amazing spell, um, but yeah, no, it was a very amazing experience for me.
She's nodding it, and for some reason you can tell by the way you are expressing yourself. It's one of those things where you've seen beforehand when you've been with Ada and Amara, how one person can be happy that some other person is happy. So when she's hearing your story and you can tell that you're jovial and have that smile, talking about the topic that you enjoy, you can tell that that type of happiness is connecting with her, and she in turn is enjoying herself. So when you more or less continue that topic, she nods in agreement, and when you try to get her to talk about herself or something of that notion, she does state, well, I do live with my grandmother. I did unfortunately lose my parents some years ago. But it does tend to happen when, unfortunately, they were both hunters, so they did meet their unfortunate end. But I'm glad that they were safe and were able to save the people in their parties. But while with my grandmother, I have been taking care of the rest of the elderly in her own village. Well, not village, but they all gather together in the same type of building complexes. So now I tend to everything they need or decide to do. Generally housework and the like, but all of them are quite lovely and nice. I don't have to do baking, though. They do a lot of baking.
As most elderly people do. I've come to enjoy a lot of baking and cooking myself. So it's one of the joys that I picked up from my family and my master. Some out of need and some out of joy.
Oh, then you might like this. You saw her come in that gown and like a little purse-ish bag. It's more like a traveler's bag. Something you as an adventurer would carry, but she carries it as her daily things because it's bigger than a purse. Unfortunately, in olden times, people still don't have pockets. Women mainly. So she carries this thing. She does bring out something while you guys are enjoying your meal or drink. She brings out what appears to be a wax paper covered item. She does present it to you to open.
I'll take it and open it up gingerly. What's inside?
As you open it up gingerly, there are small little doughy looking balls. If you've ever seen donut holes.
Did
That's
you make these
what
yourself?
it looks like. Yes. I am a baker by trade. Ironically enough, I do tend to the complexes during my day, but I am also a baker by the weekend. It's my actual profession. Excuse me. You can tell that she's a little bit wary of how she's speaking or communicating. If you'd like to try one.
Oh, of course. And Dust will take one and just pop it into his mouth and try to savor it as much as he can.
All right. It is quite sweet and delicious. It's definitely something more savory than you're accustomed to, especially in your travels. It is something that will pep your step immediately and easily. It's like, quite honestly, taking a lot of sugar in because you're taking in a lot of sugar. But something else is infused with it. It's not a poison. It's not some type of potion. It's just something inside that you can't quite make out. Something unique. Something you felt or sensed before in other types of food here and there, but you can sense it here heavily. Dust, I want you to go ahead and roll 1d6.
Okay. A 3.
You gain 3 points of temporary HP.
Would this be similar to my chef's feat?
This is something different. Well, it's similar-ish, but it is something different.
Something different. It's a little bit more advanced than my chef's feat. Correct?
It is something specific.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
I'll put on a kind of a
What was that?
amused. I'll put on an amused look. Dust will put on an amused look, and he's
Mhm.
like, "That was kind of unexpected. I've had this similar. I'm not sure what it is, but never this potent before. You truly have a gift, Emily."
I'm glad you like it. You can tell that she is quite glad that you like it. But from what you can tell, the flavoring, the way it feels, the notions of them, it is something you haven't had before. Well, the food specifically, it's not something you had before. But that type of connection, that type of just that type of ingestion. That's a weird way of saying it. The way you felt when you were eating it, that you've had multiple times, but the donut-ish ball, that's something new. But she is glad that you've had this and that you enjoy it. Well, if you like any more, I do sell some at my shop. I also sell a few other things. She does like bring out a small little map of the city, and, like points to where her shop is. Or you can find me at the cooking guild.
Cooking Guild. What is the name of your shop? Because I think I will stop by.
Well, it's technically a corner of a shop that is owned by a few noble men and women. Well, the women mainly go there, but the men do shop from time to time. It's simply known as the tea house. I work there on the weekends, so I am able to present myself and sell some of my wares there.
Well, I won't be in town for very long, but we may be here for a couple days. I may stop by. Personally, I would like to see you again, Emily.
When you mentioned,
I've enjoyed our time together.
she nods. When you mention I won't be here for that long, you can tell that she gets a little bit sad, but not heavily. But when you say, but I would like to see you again while I'm here, she gets ecstatic. It's not extremely visible, but it is something Dust, even with your passive perception, can understand. Unfortunately, not everyone can be Ada with her 18. But even Dust can see this. With the conversation at hand, you can tell that an hour passes, an hour and a half, to a total of 2 hours while you're waiting for Whisper. But at this point in time, she does look at a invisible watch that she has. Not really. She looks. I'm gonna say, yeah, grandfather clocks are close enough to something that could theoretically be there. She looks at grandfather clocks somewhere in the area, and she does take note of the time. Oh, unfortunately, this is where I have to go. I have to go make sure that everyone in the complex is taken care of and making sure they have everything for it tonight.
Very well. And Dust will stand up to the side and help her stand by taking her hand, and he will also lean down and kiss her hand. It's a pleasure meeting you, Emily. Till next time.
Caught off guard by this, she you can easily see she's blushing. Ada, you can see that she's blushing. It is very, very red. She doesn't say a word. She nods and begins to like walk out to try to get out of this. She doesn't date that often. She doesn't have the time.
Once she leaves, and Dust will kind of walk her to the center, and then once he sees her leave, he'll walk over to the table. And Nikolai, that is how you date a woman.
Opal, Fauna just looks towards you. Are you two dating now?
Possibly. Very beautiful woman. And pleasant conversation.
That does make sense. Often enough, I do see some people that go for each other for looks in the forest.
Yeah, she was... I asked her to come meet me here for another reason, and it turned out that I was wrong, but it was a pleasant enough surprise that I'd gotten wrong.
I suppose that's a good thing then.
Quite.
Opal then states, well, she does fit the aesthetic of the team.
Oh, sorry. I was drinking. I had a glass to my mouth as soon as you walked over. Oh, you went well. Oh, wow. Good job. Congrats. Good job, Dust. Good job. Great job. Let's go. Let's have a round of applause for Dust having a date. Ha. Look at him. Ha.
Amara just looks towards you. There's clearly something there, Nikolai. If you want to talk about it, we can. If it's something private, we can talk about it later.
No, I'm just saying congrats. He's got a date. Look at him. Look at him go. Wow. Look at him. Yeah.
Nikolai, are you jealous?
What? I have a drink in my hand, and I'm drinking with friends right now. What do you think I would be? Whisper, what the fuck?
Just lean over to Ada, and she'll just say, he'll probably have a date in the next couple days. We came here so that he could see.
Can I mage hand Dust and like put my mage hand over his face or his mouth?
You make a mage hand while Dust is talking with Ada. People do hear the first part, but the second part, Dust, you just see and feel a forced hand like on you. You can tell it's Nikolai that casts the spell. That's not hard to do.
Oh yeah, Dust will just have.
Look, it's
kind of a
Whisper.
smile
She
and
brought a
twinkle in his eye.
boyfriend. Wow, look at that.
Whisper just looks towards you. Sure, why not? We did it a while ago, but we broke up mutually. It was not mutually. Well, we broke up, and that's the important thing. Fair enough, I suppose. Didn't you bring me here to help out your friends? First of all, not my friends. Second of all, employment opportunity. Third of all, shut up.
You know, we're pretty close to being friends, actually. I think we've been around each other enough to say that we were friends.
You can say it. I won't. But anyways.
No, you won't say it out loud, but you think it.
Trust me, I've been trying to get her to call me her boyfriend for about 3 months while we were dating. She's not going to say it.
I know. It's in her head, though. She just doesn't want to say it out loud. Because if she admits it, then she knows she's wrong.
Whisper, ignoring all that, she does state, well, anyways, this here points towards the goth-looking elven man. This here is Baron. He does know the certain skills we need to know or give or teach, or I'm trying to make this as subtle as possible.
You're
above game. Is it Baron as in the title, Baron, or is it Baron as in empty?
so
Baron.
Okay.
Can you remind me again as to what we were trying to accomplish?
That would be I would the request was for me.
Amara looks towards the right side. Excuse me, can you two move to the side? Unfortunately, this is a private conversation. If you'd like, I can pay for your meals and you can take it to go. The goblin and his date, honestly, look towards each other and go, yeah, sure, why not? I could eat outside. Free meal. They begin to walk away. Amara puts 5 silver on the table.
Oh, cool. Do you want that money back? I got more money if you want more money.
I'm paying for the meals.
Yeah, I didn't know how much money you had. I was just making sure that you were like financially like okay, like I mean, we have a lot of money. We've been doing a lot. I've killed a lot of people like to get their like. Never mind.
It's quite alright, Nikolai. Thank you for the offer, though.
Mm-hmm. As I take a drink of yeah.
The Whisper looking towards you, asking, "Should you take that money back?" Then goes, "Well, I can be a little bit nonchalantly as possible. You guys wanted a descending spell to talk with one of Dust's connections."
Yes, that's. They do not necessarily know me, and I don't have the sending spell in my repertoire. But I feel like I need to reach out to them.
Baron does state, if you do have the name, I can communicate with you. You can communicate through me to them, as long as you have their true name.
I do have this, and I'll kind of move out that locate the thing to contact them with. I can't remember their name. I don't think I got their name, other than that it was Pink Pegasus, and that just screams that it's a code name for the admirals. So it's not a true name. He knows that much.
Yeah. You give it to Baron. He looks it over. All right. This is doable. It does seem to have enchanted magic upon it, and if it is the person you're looking for, I would need to somehow. We would need to find a diviner or someone that can conscript this into a tether. It would just mean that they would find a theoretical true name, and I can link with that. If you know of anyone that could do this.
Dogma above game. The magic shop keeper was not able to do that, right?
They were not.
And there isn't really anybody in town that they mentioned.
No one currently. But Whisper just looks towards you, Dust, Ada, Nikolai, and like looks to her right.
As in Opal?
If that's what you think.
Hey, Opal.
Yeah?
Would you be possible to do this? I know you to make this a tether. We know you operate in the unconventional ways.
I can break it down and find the source. Probably the best I can do, but it will take me a few hours. Baron does state that is essentially what would be what's needed, so that would be fine. I am free until tomorrow morning, where I have to go work at the graveyard. But other than that, it should be fine.
Aaron, I have a question for you, real quick.
Yes.
Do you know if there's any magic circles, teleportation circles in the town?
Not that I'm aware of. There might be one in the mayor's house, but I'm not allowed in there.
Indeed. Well, I was just wondering where one might be. I'm learning more about some of their runes, and I'm trying to gain some knowledge of those. So,
I know of a ancient library in the north that its main focus is knowledge. You could maybe find and discern some things there.
oh, do you know where in the north?
He tells you the exact same library you found before.
Oh, yay, the library. Yes, indeed.
Other than that, it's not.
The one where we need to go get a golden apple. Ha ha.
Baron does state. Other than that, there's no actual information that I have that would be accessible to me, because I am just a graveyard keeper.
Ah.
Baron has some magic, but honestly, his main job is just taking care of the grave.
Okay.
He also dated Whisper for a while, but that's another story.
It's
So-
like, okay.
So if he was a cleric, he'd be a low-level cleric.
He'd be a low-level cleric, yeah. He does have a racial family ability, which is the sending spell, but he doesn't have much else.
Yeah. Which most people are.
So, what's our next move here? Do we have a heading? Are we going to go look for some supplies?
I can find some supplies at likely the magic shop in town. That shouldn't be an issue, but I do need, I'd say 4 hours, give or take.
4 hours. Yay, to do whatever I would like to do. Yay.
Yeah.
Fine with that. And as we
I'm ecstatic. And I chug the rest of my drink.
It doesn't get you drunk, but it does give you a
Okay.
nice buzz.
Okay, now I'm ready. Okay, let's go.
Nikolai, you don't necessarily have to help out. This is one of my endeavors
Oh,
that I
Nikolai
have.
leaves.
Oh, there it goes.
Nikolai is gone. Opal does state, no offense, Dust, but you don't have to help and probably can't help in this.
I understood that I can't really help, but if funds are needed, my pocket is open for this because this is my endeavor.
Well, if I go on a budget, I could probably make do with 100 gold. If you wanted to do the good stuff, probably 200 gold. And the best stuff, which I wouldn't recommend, 300 gold.
Let's go with the good stuff. I'll send 200 gold over to her.
All right. You send over 200 gold for her. She does state. Okay. Honestly, the cheaper stuff might have worked. It's just easier that way for me. Usually how I work. But yeah, I'll looks at the area. I'll rent the rooms. Oh wait, you already rented the rooms at the Goblin's place again. Forgot his name. Met him once. Forgettable person.
Hey, Opal,
You can meet me there.
If you want, I can get a workspace at the Jewelers Guild quite easily.
Oh, this is fine. I don't need that much room. I'm used to being solitarily in a small room.
Very well.
Looks towards Baron. It's been not nice to meet you. It's been kind of creepy, honestly. What do you mean by that? I don't know. Just something about you. All right. As she leaves, Baron does look towards Ada and Dust. Should I take that offensively?
No, don't, please don't. She beats by her own drum. And sometimes it's in a very weird way.
All right.
But she doesn't mean any harm. She's just heavily misunderstood, among other things.
I mean, I get how I look, but at the exact same time, you are asking for help. But semantics, I suppose. Well, again, you have me until the sun rises again. But if you need me, I will be around. Whisper knows how to contact me. I suppose I can kill a few hours at the library, if you'll excuse me.
Yes, and then I'll also tell him kind of that we're meeting at Gregory's place.
Enon's.
At about the 4-hour mark, just to be like, just kind of meet us here at the 4-hour mark.
Did I know
wait.
that?
Yeah, you were there when it was told.
Okay, cool. I feel like we talked about it earlier. I don't know if we did. Did we? I don't know. Never mind. Maybe. Okay.
But Ada and Dust,
I'll find him.
what do you do in the meantime?
What color of hair was Emily's hair?
Silver locked.
Okay, so silver?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I remember you given a description, I just couldn't remember. Dust is actually going to go to the Jewelers Guild during these 4 hours. And he's going to work on crafting one of the sapphires that he got from the mine into a flower hairpin.
Okay. You got to the Jewelers Guild. It's not that difficult to do. While there, you do see that some manuscripts here and there, some documents are being sold here and there. However, you are left to your own devices while you're working in the back room. While you're working in the back room, you do hear a few things being spoken about. The rumors in town, but you also hear something new. Discerned by... I'm going to bring him closer to the door. You do hear someone just talking to another group, and they simply state, all right, that should be fine. You only get his voice, but you do hear like the mumblings of other people, so you only get one side of the conversation. But you do hear, all right, that should be fine. No, I haven't heard anything new. I'll take a look, but from what I can tell, they found nothing in the sewers the first time. And since nothing has been found there beforehand, they do routine checks every other day. So if you are still missing it, just let me know. But if you need a new one need it soon, just let me know, and I'll try to replace it as soon as possible. We do have the materials coming in a lot faster rate, so it shouldn't be an issue. Yes, she's fine.
At that, Dust will pop his head out. Is there an item that you were looking for that was in the sewers? I happen to be one of the people who cleared out the sewers initially, so I may have that item.
You do hear the couple talking with one another, and then one of them does step forwards. Two of our daughters did go down there to try to help out something that was missing down there, and we have yet to find them. We're not exactly sure what's going on or what might have transpired. But since... like, she pauses, and then her wife comes forwards. But it does seem that their bodies were found a few weeks ago. But we have yet to find their lockets. And we're concerned. It's one of the few items we have left of them.
Dust will... he'll step out of the workroom before he just had his head poked out. I am truly sorry for your loss. I do remember them. And I did pick up their lockets, as I'm just going to say, because I believe we did pick it up.
You picked it up once, and then you put it back down on the ground because it was shining with some weird light. And I think you believed, or someone in the team believed, it was like an offering to the god, this statue down there. However, I also said, we can decide later if you picked it up or not. That's perfectly fine. I don't care at this moment.
We picked it up.
Yeah.
On our way out.
Ironically enough, you're fine with picking it up. So you did pick it up when you came back outside because there was too much you could do because you were, trying to help out the city, survive. So when you presented lockets, simply stating that you did pick them up on the way, but you weren't sure who to give it to, you can tell that they are very teary-eyed when you present it to them. And they come in for like a very big bear hug. How tall is Dust?
I think I had it written down. Let me check. He's 5'11".
Yeah, that makes sense. They are significantly enough shorter than you, about by a foot. So while the bear hug is big and strong, it is not overpowering you, so you could easily get out of it if you wanted to. But whether you do or not, they eventually do let go after like 2 minutes. So it's a very awkward hug if you're not used to that. They begin to thank you once more and thank you again, and then continuing to do so until the current head of the establishment does state, all right, our guild worker does need to continue on to the work, but we'll discuss everything that's needed soon after. But please make sure and go attend to what's needed to attend to. They begin to nod and begin to head out, thanking you along the way. While they leave, and while currently, Dust, you have your item simmering in the fire, so it's able to be melted a lot easier. He does look towards you. Thank you for that. They have been looking for something, and from time to time, people do pawn off items, so they've been coming here to see if anyone has pawned them off.
That was too great of an item that I could not pawn it off, for I knew it was for sentimental reasons. I just literally forgotten to hand it in before. So I'm just glad I happened to be in the city at this time. For I do travel around.
Well, they do come in from week to week, so I am glad you came back. Ow. Hit my hand.
Very.
But he does state, so you are one of the people that helped out the city beforehand. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. We've been traveling around to various other cities and helping them out as well. So, my name is Among the Dust. Everybody calls me Dust. You may know of my mentor, and I'll state my mentor Himda.
He does state, the name sounds vaguely familiar, but I am currently the attendant to the guild right now. Unfortunately, the headmaster is away at business. But it seems that your master has taught you well.
Very well. Yes, it was a pleasant surprise for everything. This visit has, when I came to visit Hythe, I came under a different impression, but this time around it's been pretty good, if I do say so myself.
I'm glad for it. Still though, I am honestly glad you were able to put their minds at ease. It's not that easy leaving their society, as they did. So I am glad that you were able to give a piece of it back to them.
Yes, I'm glad. That hopefully I can do the same with my own family. Well, I better get back to my work.
Right. I'm gonna go see if they need anything and taken care of. Poor things, having to leave their SMR home for a while. Well, good luck to you.
Yes. And Dust will go in. Oh, and just above game, Dust would have welcomed the hug and would have embraced them as well, because not only was this a very sad moment for them, well, a happy moment, but also a very sad one because it was like reminding them of their family, and so he would have just embraced them and given them essentially a hug of comfort.
Yeah, definitely gave him some closure.
Mm-hmm.
Nikolai, as you rounded the corner, technically it's nighttime, but I don't have a nighttime map for this. Let's see if I can do this.
Okay.
Tinted dark. That'll work.
Cool.
As you go around the area, currently looking around as your fellow guard member, this guy.
Yeah.
Currently, you do see the mayor of the area. You have met before because, well, you've been here.
Mm-hmm.
You have now control of the token. You now have control of the token. They're currently discussing small topics here and there, and he does look towards his two guards. All right, then. Do make sure that the house is steady, secure. I'm going to go ahead and look for the documents in the archives. But beyond that, just make sure that everyone here is fine. As you come closer, he does look towards you, Nikolai. You there.
Oh yes, indeed.
Can you assist these two? Taking over the mayoral home for a bit. I'm afraid I do need to
Yes.
leave it for a second.
Indeed, yeah, yes, Mayor. No
All right.
problem.
Thank you. They begin to head over towards the library. The guard to the top just looks towards you. The guard to the left also looks towards you. Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good.
All right. So we work in shifts. Not that difficult, and since you'll be coming back in about, give or take, 10 minutes, you won't have to wait here that long. But you will get a bonus since you work at the house, which is good. Little extra money doesn't hurt anybody. Do you want to take the surrounding blocking area, or do you want to watch the door, or do you want to make rounds in the house?
Do we rotate our shifts usually? I mean, I'm pretty familiar with the east side, and we usually do a rotation. But
you do hear one of them state, "Oh, an east side boy. Yeah, same here. Just moved up last week. Yeah, we do take shifts, but since you only need it for the 10 minutes that he's gone, give or take, you just choose your shift and you'll be fine."
Yeah, I'll start in the house. That'd be fine with me.
Yeah. Easiest place to look. Just don't touch anything, or the mayor gets mad. That's kind of how I moved up last week. Someone accidentally moved a picture, and then he went on a rampant look if there was any spies around. The person got fired, and then I moved up.
Oh, wow.
You do a good job here.
Look at that.
You should be fine.
Yeah.
All right. He unlocks the door, lets you in. Good luck in there.
Thanks. And I walk in.
All right. He does state you are allowed to open doors, by the way, just no windows and the like.
Okay.
You step inside, and easily enough, it's a nice little. It's not a mansion, but it's not exactly small enough to be a house. It's definitely something good. As you step inside, you go into a nice little hallway with right and left side adjacent to them. Do you go right or left? There's no context clues on what either side will give you.
I'll go right.
All right. As you go right, you do see you enter into a hallway with adjacent doors, 2 to the right and 3 to the left. As you go to that right side, you can tell that on that wall there are filigreed things here and there and some picture frames. One of an ancient battle of a red dragon just being attacked by a knight, various knights in shining armor. On another one, you do see the kingdom's crest with some knight dressed in blue armor attacking what appears to be a giant. It looks like a dragon, but it doesn't have wings. It's also very green with multiple heads, just cutting the heads off one after the other. And then the final picture is of an owlbear ridden. I think it's ridden by another knight.
Yeah. Gotcha.
What door do you choose? Again, just to be clear, 2 to the left, 3 to the right.
We'll go to the 3 on the right.
As you go to the 3 on the right, you do begin to open the first door, and inside is a bathroom. You close it. You go to the next door, unless you want to go in the bathroom. It's perfectly fine. You open the next door, and inside you do see a small little kitchen. It's a nice little alcove place with an open air window and a chef inside. Looking at you, he does state, "Can I help you with something?"
All right, I'm doing a round.
All right. Just let you do it.
Yeah, thank you. I close the door and I go to the next one.
All right. I go to the last door, and inside you do see a small little staircase heading up.
I'll keep that one in mind and then go back to the other 2.
Okay. Going to the closest one to the main hall, you do open it, and inside seems to be a nice little pantry with some snacks here and there. And go ahead and roll investigation. Unless you don't want to look through the snacks.
I'm not really hungry. I'm kind of more looking for secrets, but...
Yeah, roll the perception then.
Wait, what?
Roll perception then.
Oh, perception. Okay. Oh, that's worse, but okay.
But at least you're not touching anything. As
Yeah.
you're bringing the snacks, you can tell that there are some nice little poppy green things inside, some popcorn kernels, and then something that looks like a generic Cheeto brand in
Okay.
there.
Cool. Wow.
Yeah, a lot of wines and things here and there, some non-alcoholic drinks as well. And like 3 barrels in the corner of this little pantry, just all aligned with each other.
Okay.
Okay.
Go to the last one.
You go to the
door on
last
that.
door
Yeah.
in the hallway of this right side. And as you open it, you do see someone like staring at you as you opened it. Could you see that weird thing when you accidentally open the door and there's someone on the other side? Inside, you do see a small little study, and this person staring at you is about 5'7", nicely dressed. They look like the mayor, except for they're younger and have a nice little trim cut. Well, the mayor does too, but it looks nicer on this gentleman.
Oh,
He's about maybe
excuse me.
18. Oh, it's fine. Did you need something?
No, I'm just doing my rounds. I'm just making sure everything's okay.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. Oh, you're new. It's usually... Oh, that's perfectly fine. I suppose someone was recently hired. Are you them?
Indeed, yes.
Pleasure. I am the mayor's son, Richard. It's a pleasure to meet you.
My name is Clark.
Oh, Clark. Well, nice to meet you. If you need anything or need to know what you need to go through, just let me know. Usually my father says not to, help anyone out. Have to struggle on your own and the like, but that doesn't make any sense.
I think it makes sense. I usually have to figure out my things myself and then find the best way and learn by example. So
I suppose, but you can always learn from another's mistakes and not
Indeed.
repeat them.
yeah, what's the fun in that, I guess?
I suppose that is true. But I suppose if you need anything else, just let me know. We do have Vince in the kitchen if you get a little bit hungry.
Oh, okay.
He does the thing of not knowing if you're going in the room, but he goes
close the door. Have a good one.
You close the door. When you move away from the door, he kind of opens it slowly, looks around to see you, finds you, and then closes the door behind him and goes towards the bathroom.
Oh, okay. I'll head back down the left hallway.
All right. You go back into the area, go to the left hallway, and inside that hallway, you do see only 2 doors. One on the right and one on the left, with the filigree of a whole bunch of other depictions. But this is just a mural. It is just of the town with various people here and there. Flying wyverns in the area, all ridden by knights. For some reason, ridden doesn't sound right to me, but I know it's correct. On the other mural, it is monsters and creatures, all drawn in a cutesy way, as if in a children's picture book. It looks nice, if not strange, to look at.
Open both doors and check either one.
As you open the right door, you can tell that, like beforehand, you open it, and inside are people. There are various maids currently attending to the area. You found the dining hall. As they're just checking in, one of them does look towards you. Can I help you, miss? Sure.
Hello?
Oh, sorry. I've never seen your face before. Is there something you need?
No, sorry, just doing my rounds. I walk in and I just look around, make sure everything's in order, and then I leave the room.
All right. Before you're about to leave the room, she does state, the young master is on the right side, so try not to disturb his studies. He is trying to qualify for a magic vocation college soon.
Oh,
so,
indeed.
Try not to disturb.
Yes, I understand. Sorry.
Quite all right. You begin to walk out.
Yeah. And then I go to the other door on the left.
You open the door, and there are a staircase leading down.
Okay. Let's check the downstairs first.
Down. You find a door about as thick as a person, and with strange, not mechanical constructions, of a magical construct in front of you. It seems to be glowing with a blue light.
Can I investigate the door?
Sure.
Sweet. 18.
From what you can tell, this thing is arcanically locked, but in a weird way, it seems that a physical lock was used to close the door, but it was magically closed. All that means is you can't pick this lock open.
Gotcha. Interesting. Can I try to do anything to get rid of the magic?
If you have Dispel Magic, that would work. Or if you have like blacksmith tools, that might work. Or jeweler's tools, honestly.
Not any of those.
Well, you can get imaginative. We can also return back.
Is it? Yeah. I'm just. Can I look around the edges of the door and make sure, see if there's anything that, like, if it's airtight or if it's just like there's like, if you can like have a possible way to look underneath the door, or there's like a keyhole, or there's like hinges.
There doesn't seem to be any hinges or seams, so if there are, it's on the other side. So whoever was constructing this door wanted to make sure, hey, don't have visible hinges or else that's going to be broken. Hey, don't have little pockets of air that could go through because someone could do something about it. This thing was meant to be protected.
Gotcha.
Again, we can always come back.
Yeah. No, I have an idea, but I don't. Yeah. I'll think of something in a second. Yeah, I'll go check the upstairs.
You go check them the upstairs, and unfortunately, this is the boring room. Maybe. Inside, you find a whole bunch of books. This is a private library.
Gotcha. Can I look around the library for any kind of knowledge that has to do with the Sundering in past years, and then also look for any books that might have knowledge of teleportation magic?
Roll a quick investigation check.
Okay. No.
You do look at a few books here and there, begin to like wave your hands through the dust because sometimes they don't open the books from time to time, and you don't find anything. You find a Sundering book that just gives you the information you already have. Nothing new and nothing that would correlate with a given opportunity of discovering this happening this year. So whatever happened this year, it was a plan that came together without anyone knowing about it until it was too late. Except for you guys. You guys managed to find it before it happened in your town, which was good. That being the case, they don't have any other information here from what you can tell. After wiping your hands off of a small cloth that's in the room, you put it down, and unfortunately you didn't find anything having to do with teleportation.
Gotcha.
As you head back down to the cellar, with only minutes to spare.
Dang.
I know, right?
How did you roll the nat 1?
I don't know. I don't know. Luck.
But yeah, Nikolai, I'll give you some time to think about it. Don't worry. Go ahead.
Okay. I switch back. I'll think about what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. Ada, while you, Amara, Whisper, and Fawn are currently just here, waiting for everyone else. Whisper just looks towards you. So Ada, anything you need to do in town? I do know the place.
No, I do not.
Fauna then states, well, we can discover something to do. It's what we did in the last town.
That's true. I mean, Whisper, you have been here before, right?
A few times, yes.
What is there to do that's interesting around here?
Depends on what you like to do. There is a library in town. There is a small little gambling area. There is a place we can go and sit down with the noble women in the area and drink some tea. They like to gossip a lot. There is a pool hall in the area. There is also a nice little smaller bar, but it's more quaint. I do have a friend there that's currently obligated to work there because they need to pay for a door that someone broke with magic. There is the cooking guild in the area, which does make good stuff. There is the maid shop if you need to go shopping or just want to hang out there. There is the name I'm going to butcher again. The Mortis. Let's try that again. The Magnum Bibliotheca Ex Arcanum Mortis. People just call it the library.
Hey, above game dogma. Was
Yes.
that small bar the one that Nikolai damaged in session 2?
Yeah, it is.
What?
We paid for the damages.
You did. Whisper's been gone for months, man. She doesn't know.
Can I ask how did that happen?
I think mild magic.
No, it was Nikolai being Nikolai, and he somehow.
I didn't hear the rest of it, but
Yeah, your thing glitched again.
I think Nikolai was just showing off.
Of course.
He thought, "Oh, I need to put it out." Ice knife to put out the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Goes in the doorway and damages the door.
It was interesting. But she does state, and if you like gambling, there is a nice little gambling hall.
Well, since it's just, I guess, the four of us now, what do you guys want to do?
Fauna does state, but I'm not sure. I'm supposed to be out here helping people and discerning and learning from them. Is there a place like that? Whisper does state, there is the vocational school in town, but I don't think there's many people there right now. Amara does state, I don't really have anything to do here. Other than helping out Nikolai and Dust. Not really sure why we're here.
It's more of I would say it's a break, and also for Nikolai to go catch up with somebody. Ada says with air quotes.
Whisper nods.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, I think that's it, really. I think that's only why we're here.
That's fair, I suppose.
Yep.
I'm not sure. Should we check out the school then, since Fauna wants to learn?
Yeah, sure. That'll work.
All right. You guys begin to head towards the school, which I didn't think I'd get to use. It's a surprise to me.
Not a game. Somehow just think about school, the magic school, what's it called? Magic School Bus theme songs began to play in my head for some odd reason. I don't know why.
Now you get it going in my head. Now, is it the new one that's on Netflix, or is
the
it
new
the
one
old?
sucks.
Oh yeah,
new one
okay.
sucks.
So you're doing the
I'm
old
talking about
90s.
the old one.
Okay. Yes. Now that song is going through my head now.
Unfortunately, or fortunately, according to you guys, I have not seen the Netflix one, so...
You're fortunate. You're fortunate. It was a total letdown when I watched it.
Yeah. I mean, it was made out towards kids, but I just wasn't very interested with it.
That's fair. But as you guys head towards the vocational school here, it's a small little area that only has one room. But it is where people go to study, whether or not they're of age to go into an actual magic college. They go here if they have any type of skill or the like. However, it is only open to those of actual age, which just means 18 and up, when potential classes are needed, or if you fail your exams to go into the actual primary school. I think of it as Magic Junior College? I don't know where they call it everywhere, but I know it's called Junior College or Community College.
Oh.
So
after the primary education, it's essentially that, but it's like an introductory for those who do not get into, say, college.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are basically going through the process of learning magic, but they haven't found everything needed. Well, they might have on their own, but they don't have all the knowledge that they could acquire just yet. So when you're entering here, you only see about 3 students, since while this area is pretty big, not everyone knows magic. Does can attest to this, because he was technically on a date with such a person. But only 3 people here. A nice little... I forget what she's called. I'm gonna call her a catfolk. Catfolk person about the size of a halfling, around 4 feet tall. Actually, pretty tall for a halfling. To the right of you is a wood elf, pretty sturdy and very briny, as they have a lot of clothing made out of just nature. And to the catfolk's left, you have a Yang Ti. Looks like some type of fighter magic kind of guy. Looks great. For some reason, he doesn't have a shirt on, because his token doesn't have a shirt on. But as you enter inside, you can tell that the professor is currently teaching something on the subject of matter, life, and the equation to infuse both together. Notices you all step inside and moves forwards. Is there something I can help you with?
Oh, we're here for my friend here. It points at Fauna.
Fauna moves forwards, and so does Whisper. Oh, is there something I can help you with, miss? I do need to learn about people. Oh, biology, or anything with the other? No, my grandmother said to go and learn on how people communicate, concern with one another, how they empathize and sympathize with one another, to grow and develop as a person. I suppose that does make sense, but aren't you a little old? Shouldn't you have already learned those things? Oh, that's quite all right. I don't really attend to people that often. Oh, were you set off somewhere in a remote village or something? No, there was various people there. How many? In my family alone, I don't have any brothers or sisters. Just my mother and father, grandmother, and grandfather, who has already passed. Around 30. Oh, well, that is more or less a small village. Oh, and then there's the rest of the villagers themselves, which governs around 500 people. All right. Have you never communicated with them at all? No, I've communicated, talked, spoken, traded. All right. Well, I don't know what I can teach you then, if you already know how to do these things. My grandmother says I don't, so which is why I came out to study them. All right. Don't know what to teach you, I guess. Wait one moment here. He goes away, comes back, gives her a small little book. This here is known as the cultures of the world. There are general cultures that you might not understand. The cultures of the orcs, the cultures of the goblins, the cultures of the Yang Ti, the drow, the human, the dragonborn, and the like. As much as I can find, at the very least. As much as the author could find, at the very least. This might be able to help you at least understand what they're saying from time to time, as various cultures have a way of speaking. So if you don't fully know what they mean, this might help you. Okay. All right. Looks towards the rest of you. Is there anything else you need? Perhaps some type of training with a skill set, or perhaps learning something about yourselves. Right now we are in open hours, so the students here are just giving me some questions here and there, and then I'm trying to answer as best as I can.
I think I'll be alright. Thank you, though.
Of course. Looks towards Amara. Already took care of Fauna. Amara and Whisper, and they both shake their head more or less. Amara does state, "Thank you, but I already know my profession." And Whisper does state, "I can use some magic, but I heard fine. I don't plan on going to college." That's quite all right. You don't have to. But if you do need to know anything, just let me know. This is open to the public, so long as you have the time and the intention to do so. I wouldn't recommend taking classes unless you are committed. You can take some classes here and there, but only if you desire to, or if you have the time. Mainly the time. But if you need anything, just let me know. This open hour will be open for the next looks at the grandfather clock in the room, about another 30 minutes, so you're more than welcome to sit down. If not, have a pleasant day.
I feel like they probably would leave. Ada would.
As Ada heads out, Fauna also heads out, Amara soon after, and Whisper soon after. As you begin to leave, one of the students, well, as you leave, like you're out the door, one of the students does state, "Is there anything you can teach us about time magic?" "Oh yes, time magic. It's quite hard to do, but not impossible. I suppose I can teach you how to make time work for you, basically giving you some type of, wizards call it some type of well, I suppose we can go with the topics at hand, but I will teach you how to adjust time to your benefit. Give you greater odds. And back to Dust. Dust, where are you at? Because I am not finding the Jewelers Guild. There it is. Forget I said anything.
Dust would have just essentially spent his time working on the hairpin or...
As you finish the hairpin in around 2 hours, currently it's cooling down. You do hear some bit of commotion coming in from the other room. Once again, you only get half of the conversation, but someone is currently yelling, mumbling, and you do hear Isaac simply state, "I understand that, miss, but right now we're going to make sure that everything is clear and fine, but our main concern is the walled areas inside town. We want to make sure nothing else happens." Yes, I understand you lost it. Yes, I understand. Yes, if we don't find it sometime in the next 2 days, you're more than welcome to return back here with a receipt of purchase, and I'll see if I can find a replacement. Yes, I'll make one if need be.
At that time, Dust will pop out and just kind of stretch. Anything that I can possibly do to help?
He looks towards you, trying to warn you with his look, but instead you do see that the more or less 35-year-old man with a nice beard gut, a very good trimmed mustache and beard combo, and more or less clothing. Oh, that's a silhouette of a woman. It doesn't matter. I don't care. And more or less clothing of a noble, comes over and does look towards you. "Well, perhaps he can help me. Listen, son, I'm trying to find my ancient lost family heirloom sword that I had reworked and redone last week. And for some reason, it's gone missing. And the place I found it was here. It's been here, it's been worked here," Isaac then states, "and it's been delivered to you last Tuesday. And yet I still can't find it. I had some of your men go and look for it in the area. I know some of you can divine things from time to time, and yet you couldn't find my sword. And you are responsible for it for the next 2 weeks, according to your own business practices. Am I not correct?" "You are correct, sir, and again, I am trying to help you as best I can. But there's no need for yelling. do not care what you think or need. I need my things. You can understand this, right, son? Looks towards dust.
Well, first of all, Isaac, you said that it had been delivered, correct?
What of it? It is still under your warranty.
I was talking to Mr. Isaac here, my dear sir. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this.
Even if he were, he would have cut you. Cut in between.
No. Yeah, like Dust knew that, but he was just kind of.
Yeah. Isaac then states, yes, it's been delivered to him last Tuesday.
Do you have any type of documentation where he signed for it?
We do, but he has yet to sign for it. As stated beforehand, in 2 weeks' time, if the metals or the like weren't tempered correctly, that would be enough time to see if there are any cracks, bends, or dings. But an entire missing item is another story. We don't exactly have anything covered for that, but I am willing to eat some of the cost for something to be replaced. After all, we do have our reputation to uphold. He does show you the documents, which unfortunately, like he said beforehand, there is a 2-week run period that allows you to look for any imperfections to get it covered or, fixed. Unfortunately, an entire missing object that they worked on doesn't qualify for that. There is like no information there.
Well, the item that I'm working on is cooling down currently. I have a little bit of time. Most likely, it is probably still at your place and you just misplaced it. I can help you look. Dear sir, I have a few spells that can help me out.
Roll persuasion. It's not going to be that hard.
Yeah. For some reason, it's... There we go. Take the first one. 27.
As you convince him, you can tell he is willing to help you find his stuff, more along the lines of, I can make it this guy's problem. So he takes you, he nods in agreement. Isaac does state he'll watch your stuff while you're away, making sure that the items in question are cooling down. He takes you in... Go ahead.
I will tell Isaac that if the item is cooled, it's okay for him to take it and put it aside. That way others can use the workspace.
He does not. But he also states, right now, most of our jewelers are working with the guards to fortify the walls of the city. But if one of them does come in, I'll let them know.
Very well.
The gentleman, more or less, I would call him gentleman if he wasn't so rude, takes you into his carriage. If you decide to go in or walk, it's entirely up to you. But he basically tells you that right now he currently can't find his family heirloom. He brought it in here to be tempered and I was about to say re-scratched, but that makes no sense. Re-sharpened to make sure that there is a cutting blade to it. However, some time ago, about 3 days ago, it went missing. He looked around, came here, asked for their assistance to go and find the item that they are responsible for. And Isaac, being a nice enough guy, sent out 2 of his own workers to go and look for the item, but couldn't find it. He did state that he would cover the cost of the missing item if need be, but he, the noble, would need to find it. And if he could not, then the cost would be paid. It does seem maybe that noble didn't look for it and it's just coming in from day to day to complain. Just making Isaac's life terrible. Until you reach his house. You do see a nice mansion area, a nice picket fence wall, a very beautiful woman like sunbathing the area. Well, not sunbathing. I forget what it's called when you're like underneath an umbrella area. Like it's not a canopy, but it's not exactly a chair sitting on reading a book. I'm gonna call it sunbathing, but it's basically leisurely reading.
Sorry.
When he opens the gate door, the woman does stand up, moves towards him. And while the man is around 5'3", this woman is towering above him, standing at maybe 6 feet tall. She just simply comes over, a nice bobbed cut, goes, "Oh, darling, you're here again. How's everything?" "Good. Right now I have this man here trying to make sure that he can find our family heirloom." She does greet you. "Oh, it's a pleasure, Mr.
Dust. My name is Dust. Among the dust, but everybody calls me Dust.
Oh, a pleasure, Mr. Dust. Umla, and this is my husband." The husband simply states, "Not now. I'm trying to make sure he does his job." And like basically tries to grab your arm. You can easily pull away from him. He is not that strong, and leads you towards the house.
To him grabbing, I'll kind of move away, but I'll kind of gesture him to just lead on.
Yeah. He more or less makes a harumph sound and begins to move forwards. She looks towards you, the wife does, and she does state, "It's a pleasure to meet you again, Mr. Dust. If you do
Pleasure
find
to
my
meet
daughter
you."
in there, can you please tell her supper is at this afternoon?"
Very well.
She doesn't listen to her parents anymore. It'd be really grateful if you did, as you head towards the house. While you enter inside, you can tell. That is quite big, but not impressively big that something could be hidden quite easily. The gentleman does state, "All right then, here's the layout of the house. You can go right, in the middle, or to the left. There are rooms in that area, and you can go up the stairs. Up the stairs, there are 5 rooms. Hurry up and find it."
Very well.
You can ask him questions, but it's up to him if he's gonna
Yeah.
answer. There are also like maids and butlers and stuff moving about the house, so you can ask them too, and they might be more helpful.
Dust. I will ask.
Finding
Good sir. Good sir. Where do you usually keep it?
in my study on the 2nd floor. Have you never had items you cherish and put it on the mantle?
Why don't we start there?
It's not my job to look. It is your job. Begins to try to poke you in the chest.
And then Dust will just kind of still towering over him. He'll just sternly he'll just say, "And sir, I know nothing about you or your household. As such, I need your cooperation in order to find it. So, if you could lead me first to the den, and then I will go from there."
He more or less does his whole harumph sound and then just shouts out, "Robert!" And then moments later, a nice little half-elfin boy, around the age of maybe Nikolai. I think Nikolai's in his early 20s, I forget. But if he's not, this half-elfin boy is in his early to mid-20s. "Yes, sir. Help this man find his place in the house." Is he a worker here now, or... "Of course not. He's not dressed like that. He's going to investigate the house." Very well then, sir." He moves towards you. "Is there anything you need to know? Just let me know. But I will be guiding you along the tour. Is there any place you'd like to start first?"
I would first like to start in the den.
"Oh, of course. That would be the 2nd floor's top room." He begins to lead you straight towards the stairs. As you step up, you can tell that the gentleman that was more or less leading you here closes the door behind him, but walks through the other side first, and then goes towards his wife. He's completely ignoring this problem now. Go ahead.
Just as we're going along, I'll walk up next to, what was his name?
Robert.
Robert. So Robert, is he always like that?
Oh no, he's sometimes quite cruel.
So this is a good day for him.
Oh yes, quite. He did find out that his wife is pregnant again with their second child. They have been looking for a son, and the young miss hasn't been able to conceive anyone for the last 20 years. But you know how things go.
Well, hopefully, if it's a son, things will become better for you.
With any luck. But thankfully enough, that was learned yesterday. So he's a little bit better today. But we'll figure that out later. He then looks towards you, more or less serious, but you can't tell. But if you do know of anyone that is looking for new hires, I do can cook and clean. He basically goes through the resume and then moves you towards the den. He opens the door. You can see that there's a fireplace there, a nice little love cushion sofa, a nice little reading chair, and then a mantelpiece area with no sword about, where it would be.
I'm going to first investigate the room.
All right, roll investigation.
17.
All right. As you begin to look around the room, you can tell that there are a few places here and there that are a little askew, that it does look like it was cleaned, but it hasn't been touched and obviously went missing. But it does look like things were moved about just ever so slightly, which suggests someone was here, but didn't know exactly how everything was placed. When you look at the little wall fireplace area where the sword would be mounted on top of it, you do see that there is a weird coloring tint to where the blade would be. Often than not, this would be associated to rust or like weathering, but inside the house, it would take far, far longer for that to happen due to no real currents going through there. It is on top of a chimney, but even still, it would take some time. Definitely not like this. It looks more like, if you've ever seen a penny that was... no, I'll rephrase it. Have you ever seen how copper originally looks like, and then after some time, how it later looks like? Like that.
Okay. So a noticeable, like, it's very noticeable where the sword was.
Yes.